I'm Alan Lytle for 91.3 WUKY, your Lexington NPR news station, where it is time for another edition of Saving Stories with Dr. Doug Boyd from the Louie B. Nunn Center for Oral History in the UK Libraries. It's a segment where we feature interviews from the collection. Good day to you, Doug.
It's good to be here.
Doug, this is the 80th anniversary this week of the twin bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. And today we're going to hear a firsthand account of what it is like to survive a blast of that magnitude.
Fair warning, I hesitated to bring this today as some listeners may find this account upsetting, but it's an important part of history. Aiko Nakashima Allen was interviewed on June 29, 1989, for an oral history project conducted by students at North Middle School in Henderson, Kentucky. Born Aiko Nakashima, she grew up in Nagasaki. At 14, she and her schoolmates had started to work at a torpedo factory. On August 9, 1945, Aiko woke up with a fever, and instead of going to work at the torpedo factory, she went to the doctor with her mother. Following that appointment, she was going to take a streetcar into town to go back to work.
That morning, I was supposed to go to the torpedo factory. And the night before that, I started running high temperature, so my mother called teacher. And I won't be able to be there because she's going to take me to the doctor. And so he says, it's all right, but just, to show up about noontime, come directly to the factory. And after we got out of the doctor's office, and my mother walked me to the streaker stop at the right front of Nagasaki station. And it was almost 11 o'clock. So mother said, well, if you catch streaker now, you get there a little before 12. So it's, you got plenty of time. I said, all right. And she said, you'll be all right? And I said, yes. And then she said, well, I better go home. So, and I wait for streaker. I heard the airplane sound, real painful. So I stopped and looked up the sky like this, and I didn't see any plane. So I started to walk. And I heard another sound, the airplane again. So I stopped and looked up again. Then I saw parachute, little bitty, thing, come down, and I saw something shiny object on the bottom of the parachute. And I was watching that, and then the next thing was a just big flash. It's blind your eye. You just can't stand it. So I thought that was a bomb dropped on, regular bomb dropped on me. And so I hit the ground. And I put the thumb in the ear. That's what we were taught in the school. And hold eye real tight and open the mouth. All the pressure, inner pressure come out so they won't be injured. So that's what I did, laid on the ground. And then that sound, I can't explain that sound. I never heard anything like that again. That was a horrible sound. And the blast wave just come through it, and then that time I was burned. And then everything just, turned black. And my mouth was full of dirt. And everything is so quiet, And then I tried to get up, and it's still dark. So I just sat in the ground until, gradually got light. Then I see those people on the ground dead. I got home that evening. Finally I got home. My mother thought, when she got the news that all the torpedo factory was destroyed, people there was all dead. So she thought she lost me. And I show up in home, and she just can't believe it, but of course part of my hair was burned, the face was, burned, and arm, my back was burned, and my clothes.
As you just heard, Aiko was severely burned, but there were no doctors to call. She was turned away from a Red Cross clinic, but fortunately, a private doctor set up a makeshift clinic in a Buddhist temple, and she was able to get treatment for her burns.
And she survives and makes it to Henderson, Kentucky.
I can't stress enough how important this interview is, and thankful to these middle school students for recording perspectives like this. I'm thankful that the Nunn Center can serve as the archive and preserve projects and interviews like this. Oral history is truly one of the only ways to get this kind of unique individual historical perspective.
And you can hear this interview online.
It is online at KentuckyOralHistory.org.
Doug Boyd from the Louie B. Nunn Center for Oral History in the UK Libraries has been our guest again on Saving Stories.
Thanks for having me.